Cubs win, and Imanaga pitches well again. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Shota Imanaga went 7 strong innings, and Isaac Paredes hit a 3-run home run as the Cubs won 7-3 over the Twins on Tuesday night. Imanaga really has been a bright spot in this 2024 campaign. A possible breakout game for Paredes, and we will preview the rubber game in this series on Wednesday, and much more, Sam, as we get rolling.
Matt, I feel like I have a special power.
Yeah.
And that power is if I question or state my concerns with a player,
right,
the following day seems to be his best game of the campaign. Last night, I said, look, it's not just because he struggled early with the Cubs with Paredes. He's been a 170 hitter since like late May. So
right,
it's like,
a long time.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm a little concerned about this guy. Well, he goes and drives in 4 runs. I had one early in the year with Happ where he hit a homer the next day. Steele. So I'd like to say publicly to our great listeners, I have the following players have my concerns for tomorrow's game.
Oh, good.
That's going to be Happ, Bush, Suzuki, Bellinger, Paredes, Swanson, Horner, PCA, Maya, and Assad. So based on my math, we should win 78-0 tomorrow.
It's a bad take.
But great game today. Basically the opposite of last night. I thought Imanaga was just stellar tonight.
He was great.
I texted you this. I thought that was the best his stuff looked all season. He was sitting 94 miles an hour, innings 1 through 4, 1 through 5. He was missing tons of bats. The 2 runs he gave up were against off a really good walk by a guy who walks a ton, Carlos Santana, and then a basket shot by a really strong guy, Royce Lewis, who if he played the whole season would basically just be, Mark McGwire. But I thought that Imanaga was just really crisp, sharp tonight. And Matt, I got to tell you, I had this kind of like this excitement, but also frustration, because could you imagine him pitching on a night like this weather-wise in the middle of October at Wrigley Field? I mean, he'd be unhittable.
I can imagine it.
Well, not with this group.
Well, let's wait till they get to 500, then we can check in on stuff.
Okay.
Like you said. Well, see, that's been my position all campaign, though, and that's something I want to talk about on this evening's episode, because Imanaga goes 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, gives up those 2 hits for 2 runs, like you say. And this was the first time this year, and maybe his life, that he went back-to-back starts on 4 days rest.
Yep.
So great job there on the season. He's now as an ERA just a tick over 3 in 21 starts. Cubs are 17-4.
Unbelievable.
30% of the wins are when one guy pitches.
And it's
this is a team that is in desperate need of star power. You talk about postseason. That's why it's frustrating, because they might have not 1 but 2 on the pitching side in Imanaga and Justin Steele.
And why can't he win Rookie of the Year?
Because Paul Skeens is a pitcher, is a player that it's living.
Is that who's going to win it?
Yeah. Imanaga and Bush will be top 5.
Let me get back to you on the
Skeens. You forgot about Skeens.
Nah, I didn't forget about him. Oh, I did, but I'm not. He missed a large amount of time. I'm not sure. Let me get back to you.
He came up in what, mid-May or late May?
Let me
look. It's not much.
All right,
started the All-Star game.
All right, give me a second here. All right, before you start just
Would you like me to
screaming
talk? Because it is a talk show. So.
Just yeah, it's probably gonna be skiing. Jeez, I didn't realize he had an ERA in the ones.
Yeah, I mean, if the Pirates want to do anything this year, they could in theory. They have a number one, clear number one.
Anyway, well, he's been great.
17-4 when he pitches. So much swing and miss tonight. Paredes 2 for 3 with that homer, a walk, 4 runs batted in, possible turnaround game for him. Swanson 3 hits, Horner 2. And did you think Bush bounced back a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
Single
a really
and
nice
a walk
game
for him. Good defensively again.
Great base running game from him.
Good base running, yeah.
He was good today. He was good. He always does a pretty good job after a rough one of coming back and performing well. So it was a whole team bounce back. They didn't really do a whole lot wrong. There was a ball in center field that PCA should have caught. That was really the only blip during the game.
Yeah, no, it was a fun game. You know, when you take a 3-0 lead after the first, it just instills a lot of confidence, even as a viewer. And I thought, you know, once they got into the latter half of the game, they really were cruising from there. It was nice. You know, no drama, no clunkiness really at all, and it's just been a very really both. 2 of Hoyer's only 3 acquisitions over the winter have really been good.
Yeah.
In Imanaga and Bush.
Yeah.
Neris, not so much, but
no.
It's a lefty starter that I just really think could do big things, Sam. I really do.
Yeah, I think the ultimate test for him will be, you know, when teams see him a second time through all these teams, but one time through, he's been their best player. He hasn't been their best pitcher. He's been their best player. Who's been the second best player? Maybe it's Bush, maybe it's Seiya, maybe it's Steele, but the best player on the team has been, without a question, Shota Imanaga. Yeah,
I would say right now, Imanaga is the pitcher of the year, and Bush is the player of the year.
Yeah, I think that's especially when you consider the growth that Bush has made defensively, because when you project out what they're going to do in the offseason, if he learned first base that quickly and second base is, you know, supposed to be his best position, imagine, you know, what he potentially could look like there. And really the only issue he has at first base is his throwing, which wouldn't be an issue at second base because it's a normal throw. So yeah, Bush and Seiya has been quite, you know, locked in for a good long while now offensively.
Javier Assad against Joe Ryan on Wednesday for the series win. Would like to discuss more next episode about Assad's high wire act. That's at least what Fangraphs called it. And I'd like to go over some of that, hopefully after a series win for the Cubs. But like you've been saying, Sam, and like Fangraphs gets into, and again, we'll explore this piece more next episode, but Assad has been flirting with danger basically every start of his career.
Yeah.
That's what this story gets into, and it's not sustainable. And I just hope through, I'm just going to say 18 batters tomorrow, he could be really solid. The Cubs can have a lead. Counsell and Hottovy sketch out a bullpen path to victory, and they get the series win. That'd be 2 series wins in a row.
I was surprised that Smiley threw today, knowing Assad's throwing tomorrow in a 4-run game. I thought they would save Smiley to work a couple because
that's a good point. And Miller.
Assad usually, if Assad's pitching, you'd be thrilled to get 5 good ones. I almost root for him to be inefficient so he could come out sooner, because I'm just so concerned that he's just gonna just implode. You know, the Cubs will be legitimate underdogs tomorrow. Joe Ryan, Lopez, and this guy Festa, they're all really similar. They have similar you know, stuff. It's this fastball with the extension, stays on the same plane, sweeper. You know, it's clear the Twins like the elevated fastball with the sweeper. That was what Lopez featured. You know, and Ryan tomorrow, you're just going to see a lot of fastballs up in the zone, and then you're going to see, a lot of sweepers.
Well, I hope they can
Let me look at that, actually.
repeat a lot of what we saw on Tuesday, because Monday night really was a flat night for them.
Yeah.
I don't want to go as far as to say they came out flat,
Yep.
but they just were. And so,
But they just didn't hit. When you don't hit, you're flat.
yeah,
When you don't hit, you're flat. They didn't do anything.
they barely got a runner in scoring position. So, that changed course Tuesday, and we'd really like to see them keep that going. It is a matinee game, 1:20 starts. And, the Twins outfield today, I know Girardi kept making the point about the center fielder was out of position.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if we'll see any issues in full sun tomorrow or not. Speaking of Girardi, did you realize that this is Marquis' 5th season? I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, yeah, because we've talked about
their
it. But yeah.
5th year.
Yeah. It's
What's going on with them?
I don't understand why Joe Girardi has to be a part of the broadcast.
He clearly wants to be a manager again, in my opinion.
He just bounces from the Yankees booth to the Cubs booth. How could you have any credibility? I want my guys to like the Cubs.
Yeah, you don't like that he's doing some Yes Network stuff.
Yeah, because he's not there to announce and he doesn't have an interest in the Cubs. He has an interest in just collecting his paycheck and talking about baseball. I want my broadcasters to at least have a little interest in the Cubs, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be Hawk Harrelson, just a little bit. And Boog and Joe, they just get off on a tangent. JD's done what, 1 series since the break?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That happened last year too.
It's obviously just in his contract.
Right. Yeah, I guess we could leave it at
and
that.
It's not like JD's this big wave the pom-pom Cubs guy. But it just, he at least cares a little bit. Girardi, he's working with Michael Kay on Sunday and Boog on Monday. What is this?
It's a quick turnaround for him.
Who are they going to pick up tomorrow?
David Cone.
Dwayne Wade, who's been doing a great job calling the Olympics. By the way, just a quick sidebar.
Yeah, he's been good. Him and Ian
Eagle's son is really done a great job. I should learn his name. That's disrespectful to him. Noah Eagle. He is a carbon copy of his father.
And I have to say, what a free agent signing now several years ago by NBC, Mike Tirico.
Well, Mike Tirico is one of the best to ever do it. In my opinion.
He's good.
I think he's
that man could host.
I think he's one of the best miscellaneous broadcasters. Miscellaneous meaning throw him in baseball, basketball, football, cricket, rugby, whatever it is, he can call it.
Well, he's going to be doing NBA in 2025 when NBC
and speaking of that, here comes another walk from Assad.
Coming up next, I wanted to reveal to Sam what the Cubs have done the last 29 games since the 4th of July, Independence Day. And I want to take his temperature on that. Stay tuned.
Have a fever.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. It's the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Pick more or less and 2 more player stats, and then watch the winnings roll in. Baseball season is well underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks entries, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less and add them to your Prize Picks entry. Prize Picks is really simple to play, with your entries taking less than 60 seconds to submit, turning $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps of your screen. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's a first deposit match up to $100 by using code LOCKEDONMLB. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Cubs play the Twins at 1:20 p.m. Central Wednesday, and you can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. All right, Cubs win 7-3 over the Twins on Tuesday. They are now 17-12 since the 4th of July, which is nearly an entire month of baseball. And they're
What'd
at
you-
the
what'd
very
you say it was?
least, what?
What'd you say the record was?
17-12.
Awesome.
And they're chipping away at least at the damage they did. And I would say collectively, they really have improved this last 29 games, although it doesn't get much worse than 22-39 for 2 months.
No. Well, unless you take the drive over to 35th and Shields. Yeah.
Now the 17-12, there's still been clunkers.
22-39 is World Series baseball for those guys.
Oh man, you're on one with that team. Huh?
No, I just can't believe what's.
Well, I
happening.
want Shea Langoliers to be the backstop next year for the Cubs.
Okay. Anyway,
this was a stretch, Sam, that you really noticed the bullpen and defense improve. I thought, in addition to what they have put together offensively. Do you want to guess how many runs per game they have averaged over these 29?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
So they had that spurt. They had that big spurt in Baltimore.
Yeah, they put up 3 touchdowns. Yeah,
where they scored some runs. But they've also had a lot of duds. I'm going to say during this stretch of 17-12 baseball, they've averaged 4.23 runs a game.
4.4.
Not great.
What are some of your main takeaways from this last month? Because it has been a winning month.
Yeah, annoyed because this is what they should have been. 17-12 months. Right. They should have stacked those together. Now, it's very similar to what we talk about as their team is built, right? If you're built to not have a 40 home run guy and not have a 325 hitter, then you have to be steady. You have to be consistent. You can't have major valleys. Same with the team. They had a really solid April. They had a pretty solid July. My guess is they're going to have a very good August.
Hope so, yeah.
But then you can't have May and June be where you're the second worst team in baseball. You have to be able to minimize that. So, this is a team. What's the record now? 56-60.
Yes.
They're a better team than that, in my opinion. And hopefully they could win tomorrow. That's a really significant game because you're off Thursday. You're off again on Sunday. You play the Sox Friday, Saturday, excuse me. So, that'd be a really good one to steal. But, it'll be challenging for sure.
Why are they off Sunday? I don't understand.
Because they can't do a 3-game set against the Sox with the schedule because the new bounce schedule. So they get one extra game against the Sox. It's really supposed to be only 1 3-game series, but with the rival teams, they give you 1 extra. But by giving you that 1 extra, they want to do 2 at Wrigley, 2 on the South side. So you got it. It was the same time last time we played the Sox. We just had off that Thursday, I think it was, which is a normal off day. But because they made it a weekend. The better question is why make it a weekend series then?
Should be during the week.
Yeah, I mean but it'll be fun. It'll be like about 10,000 people, 9,500 Cub fans, and
I hope the Sox win tonight.
No, get the Sox a win, please.
Yeah. What's the score in that one? Let's get.
It's going to be 2-1 White Sox. I think in the top of the 6th, and then just a quick Hard Knocks report for my dad.
How was it?
He didn't enjoy it.
Did you?
I'm gonna watch it after.
Oh, right. You didn't. Really. Yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah, I was doing our job, but my dad.
Wait, he didn't like it because some early social media they like it.
My dad said not enough football for him.
It's a bad take.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm gonna have a sip of lemonade.
Diehard Bears over there.
Yeah. So hopefully Assad throws the ball well, and
I really hope so.
Hopefully the win could
maybe take a 5-0 lead or something.
And maybe we could have conditions where it doesn't feel like tomorrow's Halloween.
Exactly.
I almost expect to go to like Walgreens or something and get some candy.
I'd like to walk.
I mean, this is
that like, your October routine?
This is like spooky weather.
Well, it was gloomy and dark all day.
Gloomy, dark, wind howling in. It felt like it was April 2nd at Wrigley.
No, I'm hoping it's a sun splash day on Wednesday.
Sun splash day. Bellinger finds the basket, and Suzuki hits one to the scoreboard. He was rung up again on a pitch that was, about
make it happen.
4.5 inches outside. I give the guy a lot of credit. I would be thrown out of the league at this point.
we're going to make this part of our rhythm at least once a week moving forward. It's the AAA reports coming up next. This episode is presented by our new partners at Liquid IV. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powered hydration brand in America. Because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. It's easy and convenient to tear, pour, and enjoy after a long night, day of traveling, or a tough workout. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Down on the farm to close out this episode, Matt Shaw, James Triantos, Kevin Alcantara all debuted at AAA Iowa on Tuesday. Shaw 1 for 4, Alcantara 1 for 3, Triantos 0 for 4, Owen Casey did homer in that one. Cubs won 4-2. Keegan Thompson also pitched in that game, his second, what is technically a rehab appearance. And Adrian Hauser started for the Cubs Tuesday after nobody knew that the Cubs signed him.
What?
And he pitched immediately, going 2 2/3 innings on 46 solid pitches. Hauser serves as a starter or relief depth the rest of the way after being released by the Mets last week. He spent the last 6 years with Craig Counsell on the Brewers. How about that?
Wow.
A little hot stove in August.
Hopefully that's not the first former Brewer pitcher the Cubs sign in the next few months, if you catch my drift.
They need offense, man.
They need offense. Well, they need offense, but if Corbin Burns says, I want to come here, Mr. Ricketts better write the check because
sure.
Don't start making that mistake. We don't know what Tyone, the 2025 Tyone will be. We don't know how Imanaga will be the second time through in a sophomore season. If you can get better, you get better everywhere.
Well, the Cubs have already been linked to him. So,
well, of course, he likes Counsell.
Yeah. Well, that'll be something to keep tabs on.
Why not? And let me tell you this.
Sign Burns, trade for offense.
We could sign more than one guy.
Well, they signed only 2 last offseason, so.
I'd like to say.
Signed 2, traded for 1. Re-signed Bellinger.
I'd like to say now this is my, I don't know, it's got to be like my 15th or 16th summer watching just like literally almost every Cub game in a row, maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
It's more of a pitcher's park than a hitter's park. Okay. Let me tell you why. First of all, the wind blows in way more than it blows out. And secondly, there's no gaps, man. Like it's so hard to hit doubles and triples unless you hit the ball in the corner. People don't want to come here. People don't want to come here. The pitchers be like, oh, I don't want to give up a bunch of homers. You may have one start the whole year where you give up a bunch of cheapies. There's 81 games. How many would you say so far this year where the winds really, really hurt the pitchers and it showed up in the score like 10-9, maybe 1 or 2 games, if that?
Yeah, I'd say a handful at most, 4 or 5.
I think it hurts the hitters more than it does the pitchers over the course of 81 here.
Yeah, I think the wind has really changed over the years, too, with the video boards. I thought I heard that the Cubs are doing a study on that, but I'm not positive.
Let's just wrap up by saying that Carter Hawkins' interview, if we could just move on from those. I don't understand why. No, serious. Like
it wasn't productive.
Did you learn anything from that interview?
Not really.
I get it. I really appreciate the transparency that him and Jed do.
I learned that they're going to add depth when they add the 27th and 28th players in September 1.
Yeah, if you're going to come on the booth and you're going to come in the booth and you're going to talk about the team, let's do that. There was talk about like pie and cake for Carter Hawkins' birthday or something. Happy 40th, man. But this team needs to get better, and you're a big part of that.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs.
Take this series tomorrow. I'll be really happy.
You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way, especially because they have all this off time coming up. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
Go Cubs.